morning guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Friday. I'm not even going to pretend it's super early because Friday is my weekend day, because I technically work all weekend. Friday I only do ad hoc work, so I always make sure I don't set my alarm. I lie in bed for a little bit, flick through my phone, all things that people do on a Saturday and Sunday, but I do on a Friday. So it is nearly 9 o'clock. I've been awake since about 7, faffing around as usual, and I'm just going to take you through today my morning routine, coming to the gym with me, and a little bit of something different about training with a heart condition later on, because it's something that I went diagnosed with for a very long time, and I'd love to bring a little bit more awareness if anybody is struggling in the same way that I was. So the first thing I always do is I get up, make my bed and brush my teeth, complete obviously non-negotiables. I always find if you make your bed, your day just starts so much better. So whatever you do, just make your bed. I then weigh myself. I weigh myself every morning. So I think I weighed today at 55.3. That's 0.9 down from yesterday, but I'm coming down off holiday weight. So really just not even taking into not paying much attention at all to what the scales are saying. They're coming down naturally because I'm losing the holiday bloat from all the frozen cocktails, which is normal. So the first thing I do in the morning is take my vitamins, tablets, etc. So I'm just going to show you what I take. Oh, we've run out of one of them, which is not ideal. I actually ran out of that. Well, that's a spanner in the works. My Amazon subscription has let me down. Okay, we'll just have to take what we do have. So that is only vitamin, basically my vitamin C subscription has not come. I take 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. I take 4,000 IU of vitamin D3. See that? So 1 tablet of those. I take 1,000 milligrams of evening primrose. This is for hormone regulation. I am on cycle at the moment, but I take it every single day. Do I know if it has a massive amount of difference? Absolutely not, but the research is good for it. So normally it would be a D3, a primrose, and 2 vitamin C, but we don't have that today, annoyingly. I am that person that puts water in my mouth before the tablet because I can't stand the texture of I feel like I'm losing my voice today. Can't stand the texture of tablets on my tongue. I then drink a little bit more water. I add a little bit of squash. I will tell you why in a second. So a tiny bit of orange squash. So just got half a glass of squash, because I then add glutamine and creatine. So it is the MyProtein creatine and the MyProtein glutamine, but I just put them in these little jars just to be extra. So a scoop of each. Creatine. Ugh, the grainy bit at the end. So that is some of my supplements: glutamine, creatine, vitamin C, vitamin D, and evening primrose oil tablets. Obviously already had 500 ml of water. Refill this again. I try and get sorry, about 250 ml of water. Try and get a good few glasses of water in the morning because it just starts your day if you water target. I'm going to take you to the gym today. Going to train upper body because I did legs yesterday and I am broken. So going to go to the gym, actually going to walk to the gym. It's a lovely day. I'm going to go to the gym that's a little bit closer to me, which isn't where I normally train upper body because I like to use the machines and things for back, but we're going to do a really basic session because that way anybody watching this should be able to replicate that in their gym. So we're going to do back session, pull-ups, rows, etc. Might throw in a little bit of shoulders, we shall see, probably just some lat raises at the end. So I'll take you to the gym with me and then I'll show you all about what I eat post-workout and what I do post-workout. So let's go. So I'm wearing this set from Alcouture, so it's navy, it's super stretchy. I really like the back of the bra. So we are feeling very hormonal, etc., a bit bloated, and these are super comfy. So we're going to walk to the gym, do a training session and walk back. Also got 20 minutes of cardio on the stairs, so I'll take you through my whole workout. Never taken my camera to the gym, hence why I'm actually going a little bit later for that reason. Hopefully it's a little bit more quiet. We'll see how we get on. It might be a few time lapses. So I've just got home. Post-workout is cinnamon and raisin bagel with jam, and then I have got banana whey protein with some mango, pineapple and papaya, so like a tropical mix with almond milk, a little bit of vanilla. So I'm going to enjoy this now, and I try and get that in within 60 minutes of finishing my session, just to make sure it's like a true post-workout meal. So high carb, high protein, low in fats, and that's what you want to aim for your post-workout meal. So I just wanted to talk quickly about something that almost completely changed my sport, my fitness, etc. And potentially, if I had taken the original advice I had, would have meant that I wouldn't be doing the career that I have now as an online coach, loving the gym, providing you guys with content, and which is a huge part of my life. And that is a heart condition that I have, which is called SVT, supraventricular tachycardia. And I'll read the kind of NHS definition just to make sure I'm like 100%. And then I'll go through why I'm actually doing this little clip and why I want people to be a little bit more aware. So supraventricular tachycardia, SVT, is a condition where the heart suddenly beats much faster than normal. It's not normally serious, but some people may need treatment. SVT happens when the electrical system that controls your heart rhythm is not working properly. This causes your heart to suddenly beat much faster, which can then slow abruptly. So, I'm going to rewind all the way back again about why I'm kind of doing this video. When I was about 14 is the youngest I can remember, because I remember being at our family home in Croatia and we have to walk up this really big hill from the beach in like 35 degrees. So we were doing that every single day and it's very steep, and I would get up about halfway and I'd say to my mom, I feel like I'm having a funny turn, like I feel rubbish. I'd have to sit on the wall before we could walk up. And my mum used to say, God, you're 14, you're fit, you're active, come on, get up this hill. And I'd trot along and feel pretty shit, but have to try and get to the top of the hill. And I remember that really vividly, because I remember sitting on that wall and thinking, I just don't feel right. And this hill is hard work, but it's not that hard work. And when I was speaking to my mum about it after and speaking to family about it, it actually goes back a little bit younger, because I think I can remember it being about 8 or 10. And we were on the beach in Devon, and we'd be playing cricket or like bowls or something with family, and I'd have to sit on the mat. And I remember just always saying, I just am having a bit of a funny turn, like something doesn't feel right. I feel like my heart's beating out my chest. And it kind of felt a little bit like anxiety, but obviously when you're 10 years old, you don't really know how that feels. So that is when I first remember it happening. Coming into like secondary school, it was happening more recurrently in lessons. It was happening more in like PE. It was happening all the time, really. So I went to get some advice from my GP, who referred me to a cardiac at Birmingham Children's at the time. And my GP took an ECG of my heart, and everything was fine. You got to think, at this time there wasn't Fitbits, there wasn't Apple Watches, so I wasn't aware of what my heart rate would sometimes get to. And when they were taking the ECG, I wasn't having an episode, so my heart just looked regular and everything. So they put it down to just teenage, growing up, and they actually put it down to being that I'm so active that it's kind of like my heart having to work quite hard for what I'm doing, which to me was a little bit like, I'm learning about how in science, how exercise makes the heart healthier, how I'm healthy and active, I should be healthy, I should have a stronger heart. So something just didn't quite sit right. And I was referred to a specialist at Birmingham Children's, who actually told me to reduce, if not stop, the amount of exercise I was doing. And at that time I was thinking, okay, this is quite a long time ago, so I can't necessarily remember the details, but you're just thinking, my gut and my brain was like, how is that the case? Like, that makes no sense at all. Anyway, I didn't stop any exercise that I was doing, because the episodes actually completely subsided from when I was about 16 to 18, 19. Didn't have an episode for a couple of years, forgot about it. They actually gave me a portable ECG machine for 3 months, but I didn't have an episode in that 3 months. So again, they've got no track or trace of what my heart was doing in these episodes, because they used to last from about 20 minutes to a couple of hours. Later on in life, they got a little bit longer, but they used to last for about 20 minutes. So by the time it had happened, there was no point me going to the GP and getting an ECG at the time. Anyway, fast forward way through, I'd completely ignored what they said. I trusted my gut. I knew exercise wasn't making them worse, because they very rarely happen through exercise. They can happen me sitting in this chair, and what is happening is my heart rate just shoots through the roof for no reason. So I can be sat here and my heart rate is 62 beats per minute. I can then be sat here maybe doing some work on my laptop, I might pick something off the floor, and my heart rate can jump up to about 210. The highest I've ever recorded it was 211 beats per minute. I feel fine. I feel a little bit like anxious, like I've got butterflies in my chest. That's how it feels. I feel fine. I don't feel sick. I don't feel faint. I don't feel like I'm going to pass out. So I feel fine when these episodes happen. So I was not going to stop everything I loved, which was sport and fitness, just because of that. However, fast forward a long time into lockdown. So where were we? Like early 2020. And it was happening a little bit more repeatedly. And I actually spoke to a lady that goes to my gym, who is a GP, about what was going on. And she was like, Kerry, they've got to get these episodes on recording. So they have got to get an ECG of when these are happening. And my first response is, well, how the hell am I going to do that? I can't book a GP appointment. We're in the middle of COVID. And if I book an appointment, the episode is not going to happen at that time. So she said, you have to go to A&E when this happens. When you have an episode, no matter what you're doing, drop everything and go to A&E like that. And obviously my first thought is, it's COVID. I don't really want to be sat in A&E. Secondly, I can get to A&E, and if there's a 4-hour wait, my heart rate's completely dropped then anyway. Sometimes, it only lasts 20 minutes. Sometimes it lasts a few hours. Anyway, I was getting a little bit anxious about what was going on because I wasn't sure of what damage I was doing to my heart for it to be elevated at this amount of time. And I got a few recordings on my Apple Watch at this time of how like the main things happen. So I'll pop some on the screen here and show you. So for example, there's a recording here of me out on a walk. So I was walking through the fields, just casually, like just walking through the fields. So my heart rate was at 105. About normal, it was quite a strenuous walk through different terrains. And then all of a sudden flicks up to 199. And I'm starting to think, but I haven't done anything different for that to happen. And 199 is very high. You can see on this recording that I was out for a walk and it just went to 196. And then you can see I was doing a HIIT workout and it goes to 209. So I'll pop those on the screen now. However, the only reason I've got recordings during exercise is obviously because my watch is constantly telling my heart rate. 99% of the time it doesn't happen during exercise. So that's how I knew my gut was right that I didn't need to stop exercising. I didn't need to stop making my heart healthier. So this is part of the reason why I'm doing this video, because I want you to learn that you know your body the best and that you should trust your gut and keep digging until you find the correct answer. Because if I had gone off what this guy told me when I was 14, I wouldn't be doing the career now. I wouldn't be an online coach. I wouldn't be loving the gym. I wouldn't have a happy, healthy body. I'd probably be quite miserable and I don't actually know what I'd be doing with myself. But fast forward, I actually had an episode. I went into A&E and luckily they got it on ECG and they had this recording, and the guy in A&E was like, you have got SVT. However, I need to refer you to a cardiac specialist for him to advise you a little bit more. So off I went. I was referred about 2 weeks later, so super quick. I think when it's to do with the heart, they're a little bit quicker. Saw this incredible cardiac specialist at Worcester Hospital and he diagnosed me with SVT. And my first question to him, before he said, you've got SVT, you've got supraventricular tachycardia, you've got an irregular heart rate. I said to him, is this affected by exercise? Am I making it worse by exercise? Am I doing any damage by the amount of exercise and physical activity I do? He categorically said, no. I can assure you that you are not making this worse whatsoever by being fit and active. If anything, you're helping yourself. And to me, that is just what I needed to hear, because I always had it at the back of my head what this guy had told me when I was a lot younger. And I said to him what I was told, and he goes, it's very hard when you're a teenager for diagnosis because so much is growing and so much is changing, your hormones, etc. So he kind of justified why I was told that, but he said, don't stop exercising, don't stop lifting weights, don't stop running, don't stop doing HIIT workouts. And that was just such a turning point to me. So now when I have these episodes, I no longer have the anxiety of, oh my God, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna have a heart attack, I'm gonna die early, whatever it is. Because he was so assertive of that. these episodes were not doing me any damage. And once I had the diagnosis, obviously I read a lot more, and I'm not doing myself any damage when this happens. Granted, I shouldn't go and climb Everest during an episode, or if I'm exercising I have to stop, because that's only going to elevate the heart rate more, how it would if it wasn't happening. So the fact that I was told that exercise is no longer a trigger, and that I ignored basically the advice for about 10 years, just shows that if you think something is wrong with your body and you know something's not quite right, but you've been fobbed off with some sort of excuse or some reason that you're just not 100% sure of, I can't reiterate enough, go and get a second opinion, trust your gut, do research, demand to be referred to another specialist, demand to be referred to a second opinion, because I was strong enough to kind of ignore what they're saying, and that is not me justifying that you should do that. But if I had taken that advice, like I said, my career and my life wouldn't be where it is now. And for me to be told, anybody to be told that they're not exercising is just like, hang on, we know that's one of the main fundamentals of your health. So that's just ridiculous. He said I've actually got a very strong heart from all the heart scans I've had, and that is because of the amount of physical activity and exercise that I do. So I now knew exercise wasn't a trigger. We discussed loads of things and we worked out loads of things. I now don't consume any caffeine. I haven't for nearly 2 years. The reason I think it was happening more in lockdown, because I was chucking pre-workout down my throat, making all these Instagram coffees, you know, that, what was it, that fluffy coffee thing. I was drinking coffee for fun because we didn't have anything to do. So I now can't have any stimulants, caffeine being one of the major ones. So no pre-workout, no coffee. I have to be aware of things, even things like Coke, Lucozade, etc. So just really limit the amount of coffee. Have to be a little bit more careful with alcohol, just because of the different effects it has on your heart and health. And other than that, I know that I'm no longer doing any damage. So I've got coping mechanisms. I've got things to try and help bring my heart rate down when it happens. And then if it's that bad, I just walk into A&E, they give me an injection and my heart rate comes down. So very long blabber, but that just goes to show, trust your gut, get a second opinion, and you know your body better than anybody else. 99% of us, exercise improves our health, not makes it worse.